Hi, Kenda Ruth here for the Hero Spouse, answering one of your common questions. And this question applies to cases of midlife crisis or standard infidelity. And I have a male left behind spouse asking the question, but this is a very general question that can apply to everybody. It'll apply to emotional affairs and physical affairs. And he says that his wife was having an affair and he discovered it in December, this past December, which was when bomb drop was. She admitted to the affair but won't give up contact with the affair partner, wanting him to believe that the affair, the romantic portion, is over, but they're just friends now. So the question is this an excuse, or do affairs actually turn into friendship? And also, why would they downplay the status of the relationship when they can just come clean? Why not just admit it, basically? So, anything is possible. Let's go over that. But let's go over the generalization. Can they be just friends? No. Like I said, anything is possible. And it's more possible that 30 years later you meet up with your ex-girlfriend or boyfriend and you can be just friends. Right now, this was an illicit, that's very important, an illicit romantic relationship. So them being just friends is not appropriate. Let's say they could maintain that. It's still not appropriate because of the nature of the relationship, that it was romantic and illicit, that was a cheating relationship. So you don't get to continue to be friends with someone with whom you cheated, that you betrayed your partner with. That person is always somebody that you are probably not going to trust with your spouse. And anyone coming back and trying to repair a relationship needs to come to a place of understanding of that. Now, I'm not saying they will understand it. I'm saying they need to come to that place where they understand the reason you can't have a relationship with this person isn't only because we're really skeptical that this is just friends and that it can be, but because this is the person with whom you betrayed me. And so it's that. It's not that you can't be just friends with other women or other men, depending on whether it's your wife or your husband. That can be possible once we've rebuilt trust and we feel solid in our relationship and our reconnection. But that person, that specific person, no. You might feel safe having your spouse be friends with their ex-husband or wife after a period, but not with the person with whom they cheated, because that piece of the relationship is very important. Now, why do they downplay the status? Well, they downplay it so they can continue the relationship, so that they can insist that they're going to be just friends. They use emotional blackmail with you, they manipulate you, they gaslight you. Well, you're being so untrustworthy. I'm going to leave you unless you let me be friends with them. And you need to call that bluff. And they might leave you. And they might not. If they're in MLC, MLCers leave. I want you to understand that very succinctly. They leave. It's not a guarantee. We do have at-home MLCers who stay, but that's not as common. And so they're going to use that as an excuse to blame you for why they're leaving. If you hadn't done that, I would have stayed, and that's not true. Sometimes they'll believe it, but it's not true. It would have come to a point where you kicked them out or they left if they aren't already planning that and just using it as an excuse consciously. They also downplay it because they're feeling so much shame and guilt, and they have to face themselves. And let's remember, MLC, midlife crisis, is an avoidance of self. One of the key components is the urge to abandon and escape and avoid. And we call an entire stage escape and avoid. And they're not escaping and avoiding you, even though they're abandoning you. They're escaping and avoiding themselves. All of the shame and guilt they're feeling for their actions and their past actions. And if they don't downplay the status of this relationship, there's a lot more mirror work that they are acknowledging they have to do, and then they have to do it. And that's really difficult to do. It's easier and harder to lie. It feels easier, which is why they do it. It really is harder, but since it's easier in the moment, they're going to do that. And then they're going to stumble on all their different lies, and they're just going to get themselves into a bigger pit of shame and guilt. But unfortunately, that is how midlife crisis works. I hope this single question was helpful for you, and I will see you next time.